But I see you, boy.
YouTube, what up? Shout out to my nigga Switch Out. I love his videos. I seen this shit while I was at work. I scroll, when I be at work, I don't listen to music 24/7. Sometimes I like to listen to podcasts, YouTubers or whatever, interviews, whatever. And I seen this shit on the YouTube, on my timeline, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna react to that shit as soon as I get to the crib. So I'm finally back at the crib. I ain't got in the shower yet, which I'm gonna do, of course, after this and shit. But I know he was finna say, And Kevin Durant officially made the worst move in NBA history. And he been saying this shit for a minute. But now it actually came to fruition. But it's really, I feel bad for KD, but at the same time I don't. I feel bad for KD because, now he's in a fucking, he's left with Ben Simmons. A nigga who I feel like don't even give a fuck about basketball for real. But, and then, he kind of got bullied. He kind of got bullied by the media, by the media and I really don't say he give a fuck about the fans, but the media in general. To leave Golden State so he could prove to them, as well as to himself, to win on his own. So now everybody want to say, he should have stayed at Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see how that's why this is a lesson for us. Do what the hell you want to do, because they gonna have something to say regardless. That's what I take from KD's career. Cause they were saying he the bus driver, or he just ride the bus. He's never gonna be the bus driver, and now everybody's saying he should stay to Golden State. You know what I'm saying? You see how this shit work? But we're gonna go ahead and get into this shit, man. And if you like the video, comment, subscribe, and shout out to Switch Out. And dang.
All right, man. So the Kyrie trade has officially happened. First of all, I want to say, Kevin Durant, my brother, my PG County brother, you officially made the worst move in NBA history 4 years ago. Now, I'm going to definitely touch on that a little bit later in this video, but if you live under a rock, Kyrie has officially been traded for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 first-round pick, and multiple second-round picks. Now, how do I feel about the move for Dallas? Basketball-wise, I love it. Like, long-term, basketball-wise, I love it. If they can get there long-term. But it is a very, and I mean extremely risky move. But it's a move they absolutely had to make. Look, man, Mark Cuban, similar to the Cavs in 03, you struck gold in that 18 draft. Like, Luka literally on your lap. One of the most sensational generational players early. 23 years old, and he's already like top 2, top 3, top 1, if you want to say. And he's in your lap, in your possession.
Oh, God.
And what do you have surrounding him? Some of the worst contracts in the sport. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. He's been very solid for him this season, but it hasn't.
Oh, God, and all of a sudden, Spencer Dinwiddie, he's a good replacement for Kyrie. Y'all forgot about Spencer Dinwiddie ever since he left the Nets the first time. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't like Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? So they be trying to, but shout out to Spencer Dinwiddie, though.
Quite been enough. Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith, Davis Bertans.
They get paid again, $20 million a year.
They have all these bad contracts, and they let Jalen Brunson walk. And what you don't want to do with a generational talent like Luka is LeBron him. And what do I mean by LeBron him? Waste year after year after year of his prime-like youth. You don't want to waste those years. Last year, you make the Western Conference Finals.
Good pass. Oh, my God.
For nothing, and he goes to New York and becomes like a phenom out there.
Oh, God.
Even worse than Cleveland because you had help and lost it.
Oh, God.
Basketball-wise.
Jalen Brunson should have been an all-star, man.
Any basketball head, anybody that talks about basketball has mentioned, he has one of the highest usage rates in the league. I've talked about everything the 2023 NBA season has proved so far. The Mavericks are dead last in two-point attempts. They're dead last.
That shit crazy, bro.
They concluded that their best, most efficient offense is letting Luka boogie and do whatever he wants to do offensively and spotting everybody else up on the wings. And we know that peaks. Kyrie Irving, I feel like I'm stating the obvious because we already know how does he help. Kyrie's one of the best pure bucket getters in the league. Like, give him the ball. Doesn't need a bunch of play designs. Doesn't need a bunch of screens. Doesn't need a bunch of help. Give him the ball and let him create.
Cook. Let him cook.
He can get his bucket.
Somebody's been cooking here. Yes.
Also, he's played beside a LeBron, who was basically the point in Cleveland. James Harden, who was the point in Brooklyn. He knows how to adjust his game and essentially turn himself into a two. We all seen how Kyrie plays, but you know I got to add this in there just to prove statistically how creative he actually is at getting his own bucket. For the last 7 to 8 years, he's top 10 in field goals made. And if you look at that top 10 list, he's dead last in free throws. He doesn't need a bunch of help. Now we get to see how creative Jason Kidd can be, playing Luka Doncic more off ball, and how he evolves. I'm assuming having a lot more spacing with a player like Kyrie, who's going to provide him that luxury. Now to the stuff that I don't like about this trade, because let's be real, it's not a perfect trade for Dallas. It's just not. Kyrie is on the last year of an expiring contract, and really it's only like 30 games left plus the playoffs, assuming they make it. They'll make it with Kyrie. I'm assuming they're going to make it, but he's on the last year of that deal. Now, Chris Haynes is reporting that Kyrie is ecstatic to play with Dallas. He's ecstatic to play with Luka Doncic and all that, but we've heard that before with Kyrie.
Oh God, I ain't gonna care.
3 good situations. Like, he left LeBron, who he made 3 consecutive finals.
But you can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at this. He was 25, wanted to prove to himself and everybody else that he could be the #1 dog. He just trying to fulfill his potential. Nobody can be mad at that. You can't be mad at this first move. You can't be mad. You can't be mad. That's like you saying, okay, you had good success at the job you've been at. But something just in your heart telling you like, man, you could do better, you could do more, you could be your own boss. But you know, you go do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta.
Finals whip. He left Boston, who a team that on paper it looked amazing.
Boston, them young guys. I love Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I fuck with Jason Tatum because he a Kobe fan. He play like Kobe. But them young guys was not trying to. They were trying to do their own shit. They were some young knuckleheads. But you see what they are now. So obviously back then, they weren't trying to listen to Kyrie, and then they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals without his ass. And ever since then, you know, they really weren't trying to listen. They really was just popping their own shit. You feel me? So that's that on that. In Brooklyn, it was a mixture of a lot of things, but I really gotta blame the owners, man. I ain't gonna care.
He left Brooklyn and basically blew up a big three that looked like the craziest, most 2K big three of all time. I can't trust Kyrie Irving. I don't know. Like, say him and Luka just doesn't work out, and it's like a Rondo Dallas situation where it just blows up quick. I don't know if he will say, well, Dallas wasn't really my first choice anyway. Like, Boston wasn't his first choice in 2017, and he left. And he says, well, LA, they have all that open cap space because Russ is gone. That's where I really wanted to go in the first place and play with LeBron and AD. Let me go back there. Let me go play with LeBron because I really didn't want to be in Dallas. And now Dallas is just fucked. You can't trust Kyrie, so we just don't know. That's the first thing that I don't really like about this move. Also defensively, remember last year against Phoenix, that second round matchup in which they won in 7 games. But in those first 2 to 3 games, Chris Paul and Devin Booker took turns abusing Luka, switching on him every chance they got in those first few games, and it hurt him. And to Jason Kidd's credit, he made the adjustments, made significant tweaks defensively, and hit him, and it helped. Well, now you have 2 liabilities defensively in your backcourt. If this is a long-term thing, which obviously they're hoping this is, you're still going to have to do some work with that roster and get off of some of those bad contracts and get more versatile players, preferably players that can guard multiple positions and stretch the floor for Luka and Kyrie. They still have work to do. Now for Brooklyn, and I'll be brief. They won, and I'm not talking about they won the trade. I'm talking about they won the Kyrie era because it finally ended. The most cancerous player.
No, please don't. Please don't. Please. Well, you already said it. Switch out, man. Come on, dog. Are you really finna give my nigga all the blame? Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at this guy.
They probably had in their organizational history is gone. Those 4 years were arguably the worst 4 years on a big contract that I've ever seen. Like, the first year Kyrie Irving gets hurt, The second year, he's unprofessional and he's gone, and he gets hurt against Milwaukee. The third year, he doesn't get the vaccine, and James Harden ultimately leaves, and now you're stuck with Ben fucking Simmons. The fourth year, he has the anti-Semitic film stuff and brought all this national attention to your franchise, your city, and then he demands a trade. Like, all this stuff is officially over, so it's over. Obviously, you're not going to be able to...
Man, fuck the Nets. That'll never be... Ain't nobody... Man, fuck the Nets. Straight up.
Maximize KD's window, and you're going to have to trade him because that's up next. And I might as well get to Kevin Durant now that I mentioned his name. Brooklyn, at least you were able to wash your hands with Kyrie and get something for Kevin Durant. Bro, oh my God, man, I feel so sorry for you, man. You trusted the biggest diva in my lifetime with your...
Oh my God, diva, really? I'm saying, man, I fuck with Swish out, but come on, bro. You thinking like these other niggas out here.
Career, and unfortunately, it bit you in the ass like it did. You lost James Harden because...
But why is he not... Okay, I'm gonna wait till the video is over, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this shit now. Why isn't he mentioning the fact that KD requested a trade in the summer? You know what I'm saying?
For this dude, and James Harden is having one of his better, more efficient winning seasons of his career. Now his trade request is looking even better and more smart, and you're stuck with Ben Simmons, who's basically a glorified role player public figure. Like, he's irrelevant at this point. You left that dynasty.
Oh man,
I understand why. I mean, Stephen Curry, the storylines, the narrative, Draymond Green, all that stuff ate his ass alive, and he had to prove, I can win without this franchise. We understand why he left. But you left it for the most unreliable star in my personal lifetime. And now you're paying for it. In almost 50 playoff games with Golden State, he only lost 10 of them. Kevin Durant is famously, I feel like the tag that we associate with Kevin Durant, the quote that we associate with Kevin Durant is, all I want to do is hoop. I just want to hoop. I want to hoop and go home. Even in his Twitter bio, I chill, I do me, and I go home. That's what Kevin Durant is. That's exactly what Golden State provided you. Even OKC with Russell Westbrook, he gave you that stability. Kyrie.
Let's not go that far now.
The Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons, they've given you nothing of that. And lastly, and we just have to touch on this because obviously it's relevant, the Lakers. I don't know exactly what Rob and Jeannie Buss, I don't know exactly what they're doing, but let's be honest, with Kyrie and how sporadic he is and how unpredictable he is, it's not over. To some extent, I understand why you wouldn't want to put yourself back into contractual hell right after coming off of that with Russell Westbrook's contract. Now you have to give Kyrie a contract, which is a whole nother level of stress. I understand that. But at the same time, like I said, once you get LeBron James and once you extend him like they did, you sell your soul to his legacy. Once you once you've accepted him, you have to make erratic moves.
Sell your soul to his legacy.
Logical moves, impulsive moves. Like, that's what comes with LeBron. This year, the West is wide open. And to me, you just kind of missed that opportunity. If they would have got Kyrie this year with how LeBron has been playing.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Kobe guy, but I'm gonna be sad when LeBron retire, man.
Automatically, Western Conference favorite. Automatically. Now, at least this year, that window is closed. But, like I said,
they could get him this summer.
I still believe it's a good chance, a great chance, that he can go to LA this summer. I still believe that. If you guys like this video, in conclusion, for Dallas, I feel like it's a very high risk.
You gotta take the risk, because if you gotta show Luka that you're willing to make the gamble, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we'll say Kyrie does leave in the summer, and the Dallas continues to lose. Luka's gonna get on down and go to fucking New York or wherever. He gonna go somewhere. But if y'all like the video, man, like the video, comment, subscribe, shout out to Swish out. You know, I'm gonna fuck with y'all on the next video, man. I'm out of here.